How does... You go.
The prospect of your child learning to drive grab you? Do you find the thought exciting? Do you find it terrifying? What about if they were still at middle, secondary or even primary school when they got behind the wheel?
Yes, ministers are considering having lessons for children as young as 11 years old. Nick Ravenscroft is at a driving centre in Sheffield for us this morning. Good morning to you, Nick.
Hello, Charlie. Look, I'm at this car park. We're just in the corner, which has been coned off. And the people you can see driving around behind me, none of them have got their licences. Far from it. Most of them are just 11 years old. Take a look at this. Dylan has set his sights high. But right now, it's enough just seeing over the steering wheel.
How cool is this?
You got me losing my mind. My heart beats out of time.
Just 11, he's out for a treat with his brother. What was he like on the way up?
Absolutely vibrating with excitement. Him and his brother, Callum, were just so excited about having a driving lesson.
Kept saying, are you joking?
Yeah.
Are you joking?
Is this really real?
11-year-old Lauren is having fun too, but for parents it's also about safety. In the last 2 decades, road safety has improved, but young drivers are still disproportionately at risk. And the statistics speak for themselves. Only 8% of drivers are aged 17 to 24, but they account for 30% of people who are killed while travelling in cars.
At the moment you pass your test, you're handed the keys, you go off and you learn by your mistakes. We believe that these pre-driver training courses should be encouraged by the government because, after all, you learn by doing it. And the only way you can do that is by building up the miles, and that takes several years.
Yep, sorry.
But on day one, it's about thrills, and everyone at this birthday party was very excited. And I mean, everyone.
1, 2, 3, go!
Now, I promise I have calmed down a bit since then. I want to discuss this with someone who's very much behind this move, Quentin Willson, motoring journalist. While we're chatting, Zach here, I called him Zach, it's Johnny, 11 years old. What a beautiful manoeuvre. How do you rate him? Pretty good, isn't he?
He's very good, and he's full of all the right things. He's got the respect for the car, and it's scary, and he's terrified, and none of that madness, which is great. This is a really, really important thing. As a society, we've got to be doing this because kids are 10 times more likely to crash than any other group, and we don't even teach them to overtake on the driving test or to drive on minor A roads or dangerous bends or in the rain or in darkness.
All of that's very well, and you could understand that for maybe 15 or 16-year-olds getting them here. But, you know, 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds.
Start them early, get it on the school syllabus so you can get those road safety messages into people like Johnny so he takes cars seriously for the rest of his life.
Now, these are not cheap lessons. Are you really suggesting that the government stumps up the money for schools to pay for kids in large numbers to do these classes?
There is going to be a funding issue, but if you look at the cost to society of the 4,200 kids who have died over the last 10 years, that's billions and billions of pounds. It will cost us less to train people to drive better.
Final thought. Many people will be saying this is a complete joyrider's charter.
There's no data to suggest this happens. This has been done in Sweden by the Swedish government, and it actually reduced the accident rate among these kids by 41%. Nobody's been joyriding because of this.
OK. Quentin, thank you very much. Johnny here, how was that?
Amazing.
You enjoyed it?
Yes.
How do you think your clutch technique is going?
Well, it needs a bit of practice, but...
Quentin, any tips?
I think your attitude is great. You just carry on the way you're going and you'll be a fantastic driver.
OK. Quentin, Johnny, thank you very much. There are loads of places around the country you can do this. Loads of companies as well. Silverstone, Goodwood, Hamilton Racecourse. But I was just wondering, Charlie and Naga, how long did it take you? How many goes did you have at passing your test?
Well, answer that one in just a second. Can I ask Nick one question for you? Are there any girls doing the course there today? Is it all boys?
It's only boys here today, but we had girls yesterday. You saw Lauren in that report.
OK, good. Thank you very much, Nick. Would you like to answer Nick's question?
Yes, quite happily. It took me 3 times to pass my driving test, but I do think that the more times it takes to pass your driving test, the more experience you get, therefore you're a better driver.
On that basis, our director today, who took seven times to pass her driving test should be amazing.
She's now a cyclist.
I don't think quite... who's that? 7? Yes, 7.
7. She's now a cyclist, a very good cyclist, not such a good driver.
None of us go in the car.
Charlie, you were first time, weren't you?
I was. Sorry.
Here we go.